Hey guys, welcome back to the Taste of Sport channel. Today we are going to be discussing possible landing spots for Cam Newton,
Or Cam Newton,
as it looks like he's not going to play another game with the Panthers.
which is their own fault.
Our fault.
Their own
I
fault.
thought you said it's our own
No.
fault. I was like, what did we have to do with it?
Well, start with the story first. In fact, he started off season strong. They're like 4-1 or something. That could be wrong.
I thought they started off bad,
No, started off well.
and then Kyle Allen rescued them.
No, he was doing well. Newton was doing well. Injured his shoulder.
But I knew I had an iPad for a reason.
He injured his shoulder. Then he was out, and they've been keeping him out. No, it's not his shoulder anymore. It's his foot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just full of thing.
But it was his shoulder is what was holding him back in the first place. And then that was last season, and they held him out because they wanted to bring to some specialist about it. And then Kyle Allen came in, started off strong enough. He went 2 or 3 weeks without a pick.
Yeah, no, they were pretty bad at the start of the season.
That last year then.
Preseason.
Right.
So loss, win, loss, win. They were alright.
Yeah, they were fine.
And then Kyle Allen came in and flamed, and then they were like, "Oh look, we don't need Cam Newton anymore."
Because when you watch, like, the thing was when you watched Kyle Allen play, he doesn't look impressive. He doesn't have a strong arm. He doesn't.
He also didn't do anything. Christian McCaffrey just carried them.
Yeah, and that's another knock. Is they're knocking Christian McCaffrey now that they're struggling more. That he's not doing enough, or that for him to win MVP, he's do even more.
Well, he was bound to run out of steam eventually.
Yeah, he already has 2,000.
He's only a running back.
2,000 scrimmage yards, close enough to it. I know he definitely is over 1,000. He's over 1,000 rushing. He's nearly 1,000.
Despite the fact that he's not really a running back, as he's a wide receiver. And
Yeah, they play him a wide out. They play
But
him
you
nearly
need-
at the X on as far as you want.
yeah.
But like that team, they need a quarterback now because they have DJ Moore, who's looks solid, obviously.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel's there. You have what's there? There's McCaffrey, obviously, and McCaffrey's only his second year this year, so he's a long way to go.
Has Kyle Allen actually gone for a big game? I think he had one in London, didn't he?
Yes, would do against the Bucks.
Yeah, he had like
Yeah.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
But that's against the
Something
Bucks.
yeah. So then, like he's not, but when you watch him, he doesn't look comfortable first. Well, he looks comfortable. He looks like he's overly confident. He's not big enough.
Yeah.
He's tiny, like he's
Yeah.
me.
I mean, compared to Cam Newton.
Yeah,
what they
and
had.
like Cam was fine. But now Ron Rivera's gone, which is he was Cam's coach since he got there. When they drafted him first overall.
It's
back.
the narrative that Cam Newton isn't needed anymore.
And it came out
It's
of nowhere.
very annoying.
Because the thing is because like his thing was before we started was he can only run the ball. But as he's gotten older, he's got like his MVP season, he was doing everything.
Yeah.
And now they just decided we don't want him anymore, which was out of nowhere, really.
Yep.
And there's like locker room stuff and making up all this bukkake about whatever's going on with him. And it's like, I think he's better off leaving now just because.
He is. He definitely should leave now after everything that's gone on this season.
And the fact like their GM has gotten rid of his coach that he
Yeah,
loved. He's
yeah.
gone. So like even though they have a lot of potential there, because like Luke Kuechly, their defense is still solid enough. Like they're losing a lot by getting rid of him.
He could go somewhere else that has a lot of potential, to be fair.
I don't think
Which is what we're here to discuss.
Yeah, and I don't think he's a free agent next year. He's not, as far as I know.
So
But
they'd
it
have
is
to
a
trade
trade.
for him, yeah.
And like you can go with your first team because we have similar enough teams, all of our teams.
Go back from
His iPad to iPad.
So I'll start with teams that we both have.
Right. Well, no, I want my favorite one to say last. Favorite one, as unbiased as I can be.
I don't know what your favourite one is.
It's the team I hate the most, but they'd be my favorite fit for him.
Okay, yeah, that's just actually my favourite place for him to go as
Yeah.
well. So we'll start with the Bears.
Yes, one we both have,
Yeah.
which is fairly obvious that Trubisky's not.
I
Even
mean,
though
he's a
like
similar
Trubisky-
kind of playstyle to Trubisky. And if Trubisky finishes out the season like he's been playing recently, I don't think it would happen.
Hmm.
But from the start of the season up until maybe, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? He's been terrible.
he was taken
and he's
out-
been in and out injured as well.
Chase Daniel's been there instead of him.
Yeah.
And Chase is a plug and play guy, so it made it look worse for him.
Yeah.
But like when you look at the difference when Chase played and Trubisky, there wasn't that big of a difference. We saw Kyle Allen play and Cam Newton play. There was a big of a difference. You can see that. Like I find Cam Newton's arm still more reliable. Still throw a better deep ball, even though he's getting older.
Than Trubisky, yeah.
Yeah, and like Trubisky's.
Although, didn't he have a horrible game again last week? Do I
Trubisky?
remember that? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Me neither.
But The thing with Trubisky is like there's no confidence there with him either.
And he's very inconsistent.
Yeah, like last season he was good. Like they were firing on all cylinders last season.
Yeah.
When Vic Fangio was in charge of defense and everything, like
And they still didn't really get anywhere.
Yeah, and like you do want someone in there now because now they have. Last year they had Tariq Cohen and they had Howard. Why can't I remember his first name? Jordan Howard. But then like this year, then they have David Montgomery, the rookie they drafted, who looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they have Tariq Cohen has not been used as much because the offense has gotten a lot more safe and like just trying to make sure Trubisky is somewhat comfortable. But like that's not what made them good last year.
Mm.
And their defense isn't performing as much as they were last year, so they can't hold up the offensive struggles anymore.
Yeah.
And like they have guys,
and
like,
there's a lot of offensive struggles.
Yeah, and like they have so many weapons. Like Allen Robinson is like a tier 2, close tier 1 wide receiver all the time. Anthony Miller is a good young receiver. Taylor Gabriel is lightning fast.
Anthony Miller, he hasn't been good this season, has he? Which is probably
can't get the ball thrown to him.
Yeah, it's linked with Trubisky.
Yeah,
he was very good last season when Trubisky was good, but this season he's gone downhill with Trubisky. So.
Yeah, so like if your quarterback's bad,
which makes sense. Yeah.
So I think the Bears. I think you'd have. They're hard to get it because Cam's contract is a lot still, and you have Khalil Mack, so they have no cap space next season anyway. So that's a hard one to do.
Are they paying Trubisky much?
Rookie contract, so
yeah.
She was only drafted last year.
Yeah.
Year before.
Recently.
Year before. The next one I had was simply because their 39-year-old quarterback this year will be free agent is the Chargers.
Yeah, he needs to go.
He needs. Well, it's his time.
He needs to go.
I think. Like no one could have foreseen how much he'd fall off this year.
Yeah.
Because how well they did last year.
He went from he was good and angry when he was bad to just angry. All he is now is an angry man on the field.
He's kind of a meme now to everyone.
Yeah.
Because like he's funny to watch. Everyone says he's a great trash talker. But like, that's not
it doesn't help the fact that he's on the Chargers either. He doesn't have much to defend him.
No. And like he just they should have moved on from last year, but that's easy to say no because we see how bad he's doing this year.
Yeah.
And how aggressively he's just throwing it wherever he wants to throw it. He's just putting it up there and hoping
anyone will catch it.
Keenan Allen, there you go, mother of God, will come down with it, or Tyrell Williams.
And he has a safe place to go in Eckler and Gordon, kind of.
And Hunter Henry's there. One of the most promising, if you can say healthy, one of the most promising tight ends there is.
But I mean, if he did, I suppose, consistently use Eckler rather than throwing downfield, he'd turn into an Eli Manning.
Into a Tom Brady.
So, yeah.
But like that's what I mean. Like this, if you bring in,
I suppose it's not his style really. So
yeah, we kind of see as well what Cam's movement is like. Because biggest reason I went to Cam is in LA is because it's a new style that they haven't had.
Yeah.
Like Rivers been there for 15 years. They've never had a mobile quarterback, which is the way the league's going. But I think Cam he has the bravado. He has that kind of. He's a good locker room guy, as much as fellas say he's not. But I think he's a good guy. He can move still.
Yeah, that a lot of this does depend on how he can come back from his injury.
Yeah, it's just like I do rather if you're going to move on from Rivers, which I think they should. Like he's not going to come back and be any much better. Yeah. There's not Tom Brady's aren't normal that come around when you're 40 or Drew Breeses. They're the only two who are doing it because Eli Manning fell off at Big Ben on the way out, and Phillip is the other one who's out there as well. You're not going to have another Drew Brees, so I think it's a safe, especially with the guys they have. They have a good offensive line. Then they have the guys like Eckler, Allen, Williams, Henry, Gordon, and
there would be a lot of weapons if he went there.
Yeah, and like they could also draft a quarterback next season. They could get a Jake Fromm or a Justin Fields next season. Like they could pick up something like that solid and have them behind Cam for a season. I think it's not a big risk to do it. Have him in there.
I just think as much as it is sad to say, I think Phillip just needs to go now. Like this season has proved it.
It's just his whole I can still do. It's his like Tom knows he could still do it. Drew Brees knows he can still do it. Like it's like Rivers wants to do it. It's the kind of thing he can't, but he wants to.
Maybe he thinks he can do it, but
he's too aggressive.
If you then watch him on the field, he can't.
Yeah, he's too aggressive the way he goes about it.
Yeah,
easily the way about it.
So next team, I don't know if you have the next two teams I have.
I have two.
Oh well, I have three. So the next one I have is one you definitely don't have. Actually, is the Raiders.
Would you put him in instead of Derek?
Yeah.
You hate Derek.
Yeah.
You do hate Derek. I like Derek.
It would just be nice to see them with a different quarterback.
Hey, what? He's younger than you think he is.
Because like they have a decent enough record considering when the whole Antonio Brown thing went down. We kind of thought that was it for their season, and they'd be horrible.
Their defense has whittled that team back to where they are.
And Josh Jacobs.
And Josh Jacobs.
One time I called him Jonathan.
And the worst thing, the only thing with Derek Carr is he's on his contract's 100 million. Hard to trade. I don't think Cam's on anywhere close to that. It's going to be hard to move a contract that big.
Yeah, and I mean, Derek Carr is having a good season. But
It depends on Gruden. If Gruden, like, you don't know if Gruden wants a quarterback like Cam. You don't know if Derek can move slightly. And he's a more reliable pocket passer than we've seen Cam Newton be.
It would be nice to see the Raiders improve with Derek.
Yeah.
But it would also be interesting to see Cam go there.
Yeah, so it's all about money that way. I can't remember what Cam's on, but I know that Derek's on a big contract because when Derek signed his contract, he was the highest paid quarterback of all time at that time.
Yeah. There's a lot of teams where Cam could end up where he'd just bring a whole new dynamic to the team, and it would just be interesting to see how it would work out.
Yeah, and like it's draft picks as well. Draft picks will be moved, but it's going to be hard to see. They're very similar teams records wise.
Yeah.
Raiders still trying to make the playoffs. The next one I have is the Jags.
Oh yeah, I was considering putting them in. Yeah.
Just because I don't trust Nick Foles. It won't work because of Nick Foles because he just signed that 70.
Yeah,
of Nick
yeah,
contract.
he's not going anywhere realistically.
So but it's just a team I'd like because like that defense is their personalities are so I don't give a shit. This is what we do. We're here, we're there, or whatever. Like Jalen Ramsey fit there well. It seems like Cam has that same kind of attitude. So I think he fits that whole like, and Fournette doesn't give a shit about anything either.
Yeah,
it just works against him.
And I think Minshew has shown what that offense is capable of with a quarterback.
And you have to wonder
that can be very good.
And he could easily be using him or Foles could be using a trade bargain too.
Yeah,
like I would like Foles.
Minshew has some worth behind him now.
He does, but you have to see one season, and he's struggled a lot as well.
Yeah.
So he kind of gets off on. He's good lead. He leads passes well. He knows where to put it, but he's still a rookie at the end of the day. He was still a senior.
But I mean, nobody had heard of him at the start of the
did.
season.
No.
So at least they have that now.
Yeah, so like he could be used as trade for Cam, but they're just one I'd like him to go to because they have Char, Connolly, Westbrook, Fournette. They have so many guys there. They'll get someone in the draft next year as well.
And I mean, it could work very well again with Nick Foles, but
yeah, he'd be a good piece to move. It's just
he came back and
I think
hasn't done anything.
The culture there is very like we're kind of okay now. We know next season we'll have Tracy come back for next season. Sign Ngakoue, all these guys.
They're
back.
okay with not doing anything.
Yeah.
And the next team I have, which I kind of just threw in there because of their quarterback situation,
Broncos,
the Colts.
Oh.
I was actually stuck between the Broncos and the Colts, but the Colts just because is Brissett the guy they want to stick with.
I think he is. Is it just because of how well he's done this year and how much Andrew Luck said even when Andrew Luck was there, Jacoby seemed like the leader there. So I think he seems to be what Frank Reich wants in there as well.
Yeah, and
fit well.
Cam and Brissett would be kind of the same, very similar styles.
Yeah, but the thing with Frank Reich is his offense works a certain way, as in it's kind of ABC. It's not going to blow you away. Right? Cam's kind of like Jacoby will stay in the pocket and take a sack. Yeah. Well, you know what you're going to get every play from Jacoby. While
and Cam wants the big play. Cam
wants to decide like if I can't get it, T.Y. is somewhere down there. Let me throw it to T.Y. Hilton and see what he gets it.
Yeah.
I think the Colts would rather like the way their team is built. Like their defense is getting better. Their offensive line is unbelievable anyway.
Yeah.
I think you're better off with a guy unless Cam comes back as a pocket passer, which he could. Like that's the opposite way the way league's going. So it'd be weird.
Yeah.
But
and that would kind of throw everything we're saying out the window.
Yeah, completely. But so I think if I was a coach, I'd rather have Jacoby we can rely on to do the right things rather than like Cam's kind of high risk, high reward. So it's kind of while Jacoby's like high reward, medium risk.
Yeah,
because like, he might not win you a Super Bowl, but he'll get you to the playoffs every season.
Yeah, and the Broncos kind of sits on Drew Lock at the moment.
Yeah, if he can do
because if he continues, then he's just the guy. There's no doubt about it.
And Von Miller likes him. That's as much as I can get. So the next one, and the one with the same team, is my favourite one. I think it's your favourite one as well. Is Pittsburgh.
Definitely.
Sad for me to say because I hate.
I kind of wanted to make a whole video on them, but this
will have to do.
Kind of works with it. So.
Yeah, nice segue into it.
Because they have what record? 8-6 with no quarterback basically.
And their defense come along. Minkah Fitzpatrick has completely changed their defense.
Yeah. So Cam Newton, not saying he'd be the ideal guy for them to get, but he'd be the ideal team for Cam to go to.
Goodbye, Big Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work getting him there and moving people around, but Big Ben I'd rather have Cam in there now than throw Big Ben and not know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You might be thinking of Big Ben, and I don't like him first of all, but that's other than that. Like, but the thing, like they have so many like this season kind of showed like Juju isn't that much of the guy because a lot of it was Antonio Brown's taking away a lot of the attention, and Le'Veon Bell was as well, and Juju was just kind of fit in. But like,
Juju has been injured though.
He could, yeah, exactly. He could change it. And Mike Tomlin has a good record with wide receivers. He's had Hines Ward, he's had all these guys. And now he has James Washington who's in there, who seems very like I think he's the most receptions yards from this season.
Yeah.
Like James Washington seems like a stud. Deontay Johnson looks good.
Hurts my brain that they're 8-6 with their offense.
Yeah.
Like their defense obviously is what's carrying them. Their defense is unbelievable, but their offense is nothing.
It's a testament to Mike Tomlin for plugging in guys like Duck Hodges, who's in there now, and Mason Rudolph, who everyone randomly said he's. Like, you should have known Mason Rudolph was not the next guy to fill in for Big Ben. He's not the guy who's going to get Mike Tomlin to keep the job whatsoever. I don't think Mike Tomlin is in jeopardy of getting fired anyway, especially after this year. Because like he's drafted. His offensive line is still strong. Oh, it has been for years. Then he drafted T.J. Watt last year, Devin Bush this year, traded for Minka Fitzpatrick this year. Like they have guys in there now who are like Joe Hayden's still there. They still like their defense is still set up. All they need to do is get
something on offense.
Yeah, and like I think, like I said, a lot of stuff is Cam's his personality if it fits the team's like what their culture is, and and
we're also basing it on like this entire video basically. Probably something I should have said at the start, but that he would come back
similar,
still doing still being able to do what he used to do.
Still, he'd be a slower running back. What he was.
Yeah.
So it's, if he comes back with that same, like
that would be a fun thing to see with the Steelers.
Yeah, like James Conner's there, Jalen Samuels is there. Like they have weird bits in the back. Like their backfield is still not perfect. Yeah. And like I said, like another reason I like Ben was there. Like Ben won a Super Bowl there when he was younger, and Ben was never that fast, but he still was afraid to move. He was hard. You could not get him down, and that's what reminds me of what Cam will be now. Like old Cam was fast, strong, whatever he was. Now Cam's gonna be a bit slower, but I think he'll be still willing to run.
Yeah.
And he's huge. And 6'4", whatever he is. He's gonna be hard to get down still.
Yeah.
So like if Big Ben's style of offense worked when he was younger, and Cam's, if he comes back the way we think he's gonna come back, kind of fits the same way into that situation as his does.
Yeah.
His did. So I think the Steelers would be probably my least favourite fit, personally, because I despise him.
Yeah.
But
because it would make them so much better.
Yeah, and I think the best landing spot for him, because he's Mike Tomlin to whip him into shape, and he's kind of fits their whole.
And they're 8-6 with basically throwing anyone in as quarterback at this stage.
And a lot of those players come back next year.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to say. If they didn't get him work, if they didn't want him there. Yeah. But I still think he should be in. I'd rather have him in than Big Ben.
I think he'd be both of our top pick.
Yeah.
For Cam's landing spot, for the sake of Cam, for the sake of the team as well, but. Obviously, that's not not what you want.
No, it's not right. I think so there are our landing spots. Definitely Steelers is our kind of number one spot for him.
Yeah,
and the Bears, because Bears, like a lot of them, like the only teams, Steelers and Chargers, kind of two teams where the quarterback situation is not steady.
Yeah,
because like the Chargers, Phillips should be gone next year. Might not.
I'd say Steelers for the sake of the team, and Chargers for the sake of get Phillip Rivers out of the goddamn league.
Same for Big Ben for me.
Not even that we hate him; it's just he needs to go now.
He should
it's
have
sad seeing him
because he's not the kind of guy who's like Drew Brees. You're going to want to get another Super Bowl. He already has one.
Yeah.
Phillip doesn't.
A
have
year
one.
or two ago, it was will Phillip get his Super Bowl before he retires? Now it's he needs to retire. Because look at the state of him on the field.
Yeah, like we said, last year was very misleading with how well they did. Like last year was his last final year to get. I think that was his best team he's ever had.
Yeah.
Bar LaDainian Tomlinson, but even then they weren't that good. But now he should have got there last season.
Yeah, because they had offense and defense last year.
Yeah, and their defense is still there, but Phillip isn't there. Yeah. Phillip's not trustworthy in the pocket, and Cam might be if he comes back to the same.
So yeah, that's gonna be it from us. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Stick around for whatever we're doing next. I forgot what it is.
There's more sports coming, and the playoffs are starting soon. So they will be
plenty of NBA and NFL stuff on the channel. Maybe more sports to be dragged in the future. We'll see.
Once one of us gets the second camera, which is me.
One of us.
If I can get one.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Peace out.